Between Plays. It's the journey and what you do between where you are and where you want to be. Research, prepare, plan, and execute your strategy. Do your DD and stay strong in visualizing and achieving your goals. Our strategy is unique since 2020. An original concept imitated, never duplicated. Real conversations with media influencers, educational and expert speakers, analysts and consultants. Between Plays, bridging the gap between companies and investors.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Between Plays Stock Market Strategies. And I don't know, this is the first time live. I mean, John, where are you at right now? Seems like an airport or something.
Yeah, I'm in the Frankfurt airport in Germany here. I'm just in transit from Toronto to Istanbul. And I got here a little bit late. Flight was delayed, so I missed my flight. And I'm just sitting here in the airport trying to deal with it. This is a major hub for Europe, so all the flights are delayed. It's just chaos everywhere. But you know what? We're living the dream.
Yeah, well, tell me about it. So what are you doing down in Frankfurt, actually?
Well, basically, I'm doing a transition to Turkey. I'm going to Turkey for the CRU Global Phosphates Conference, where I'm speaking on the LFP battery.
Wow, you're moving around. You're going to Turkey to do that?
Yeah, the CRU group conference is the leading conference for food phosphates in the world, and they do it in one country every year. And recently, there's been an export ban on phosphate out of Turkey. So I think that's maybe why this year they decided to put it in Turkey. It has nothing to do with the earthquake, sadly enough. But conference is going on despite that, and we feel for the poor people in the southern part of the country that are suffering the results of that earthquake. But the conference is going on in spite of it. And it is a global phosphates conference, and lots to be discussed there.
John, you just got on the Canadian Stock Exchange, and then all of a sudden after that, you hit this huge deal. All right, well, this MOU, right, with Prayon. Now you're in Frankfurt. You're going to Turkey. Don't tell me that you're heading off to PDAC after that, because I'll just fall off my chair.
Well, of course, yeah. I come home, and then one day later we're doing PDAC. We're going to be in the Quebec room on March 7th from 8 in the morning until 5 p.m. at night. At 4 p.m. I'm speaking at the PDAC. Peter Kent and myself will be there for the whole day. So yeah, we'd love to see everybody who wants to come and meet us. We're a deal of the people, and we want to meet our shareholders. We want to be close to the people. We want to communicate. So everyone's welcome to come and see us.
You just put out, well, I guess we'll be putting that over here. This really cool video of you at a coffee shop. Is that happening actually at the airport too?
Well, yeah, I got in here. It was a late night. I barely slept on the plane. As you know, I fly coach. We're trying to protect shareholder value. So I was crunched into the corner of my seat by the window. I managed to get some sleep. Worst thing was I went to the washroom there in the plane, and I didn't have my shoes on. And believe it or not, all my socks got wet. So I had my socks hanging up from where the air comes out of the airplane, and I had to dry my socks before I could get off and get over here. And then finally I get here, and I just barely missed my flight. I speak German. It's been 30 years, but that wasn't enough to get me landed on the flight. So I had to hang out in this coffee shop for 3 hours. And it's funny. I used to be a waiter in Germany. That's called a Kellner. 30 years ago. And so, I was just reminiscing with the guys. They were just like me, from another country, and that's their first job in Germany, and, making their way through life and trying to get ahead. And so we had a lot of fun together, and they actually seemed to know about First Phosphate. They seemed to know about the ticker symbol KDO on the Frankfurt Stock Exchange. And I asked them how, and they said, well, we read blogs and we do this and that. So we did a little skit. We just had a little bit of lighthearted humor. So I had these 3 hours totally unexpected at the airport, and that's what we've produced. So just a little sketch on First Phosphate. I thought it was amazing, and just a lot of fun just to recount my days in Germany. My love for the country, my love for Europe.
I thought it was amazing too. Honestly, when I saw it, I just started cracking up.
Kennen Sie denn First Phosphate? Aber natürlich, KDO auf der Frankfurt Börse. KDO? Ach, mein lieber Gott.
Cracking up, and I was very impressed by your German, unbelievable. How many languages do you speak?
Well, me too, Albert. I hadn't spoken German in about 30 years. It was still there. I couldn't remember all the declensions. I don't know if you know about German. There's Akkusativ, Nominativ, Dativ, Genitiv. And so I think all of those were out the window, but at least I had, partially the words. I speak 6 languages in Europe. When I was growing up, I grew up speaking languages, and I grew up traveling a lot. And that's kind of what I did my first degree in, was in languages. So it's good that, we get to have some fun with it, right? Because sometimes you spend all this time studying in school and you can't do anything with it. But that video there was worth all my years studying German.
You know what? That video is one of the best. And, I'm so happy that, you're one of those CEOs that, you're very hip, man. You're look, I can't wait to put that up. I can't wait to put it up on Twitter. People have to see it. It's amazing. And I love at the end where you just see the F and P. Look, when people see the video, they'll see exactly. But that guy, that waiter, he's just amazing. I mean, he got the FP on there and he did it perfectly.
Oh yeah, he got a good trinkgeld. I don't know if you know what trinkgeld is, but that's a tip. So,
no, I didn't know
I told him it used to make my day when, so I'd be waiting at a table and somebody would come by and they give me what's called a 5 Mark Stück. It was like 5 marks at the time. That was before the euro. 5 marks was a lot of money. It was like $20 nowadays. Can you imagine? Wow. And you're working for, like what, $3-4 or whatever it was an hour back then. I don't even remember. But those were the good old days. They're formative, Albert. They're formative and they make you who you are, right? And you never forget where you come from and you never forget the people that got you there. So it was great to just hang out with those guys at the bar and just reminisce and just remember that every day, we're struggling and we're just trying to make it through just like everybody else in this life. And that's the way we plan to build First Phosphate, just, one brick at a time, waiting one table at a time.
Well, you know what? I'm really happy that I got to do this interview with you at the airport. It's a first for us. And, First Phosphate, you guys are really, you're aggressive. And, you're doing things that I haven't seen before. You come, right out of the gates and then boom, with, a company that has over a century-year-old of history. And you're not going to know the ballpark already. I just can't wait to see what the future holds for First Phosphate.
Yeah, look at that back there. Do you see that Lufthansa jet? That's the one that's going to take me over to Istanbul. I can't wait.
All right. Well, you know what? I won't keep you on anymore. I don't want you to miss your jet. It's too important for you and all the shareholders. So, you know what? I'll talk to you again really soon, John. And, hopefully I'll see you in PDAC.
Yeah. Thanks, Albert. Much appreciated. Wiedersehen.
Ciao. Bye.
Betweenplays. Kennen Sie denn First Phosphate? Aber natürlich, KDO auf der Frankfurt Börse. KDO? Ach, mein lieber Gott.
Betweenplays, it's the journey and what you do between where you are and where you want to be. Research, prepare.
Betweenplays owns shares and has a contract with First Phosphate at the time of this video. Betweenplays only takes contracts with companies we believe have an opportunity to deliver a product or service based on our own research. That being said, always do your own due diligence, seek a professional financial analyst when investing. This video is for entertainment and educational purposes. See description for more information.
Betweenplays, bridging the gap between companies and investors.